On an island in the middle of the Mediterranean lives a remarkable woman. She is a herbalist and a healer, a breeder of Afghan hounds and the author of many books. She is a traveler in search of herbal wisdom, a friend and helper of the gypsies, and the pioneer of holistic veterinary medicine. Juliette de Barackley-Levy and the books she has written have been a vital inspiration for today's herbal revival.
I have in my lifetime made 10 gardens, and wherever I go I plant two things for sure: rosemary and southernwood. Rosemary is one of my most favourite herbs. My children are sarcastic, they say I cure everything with it. But I have had very serious injuries, and merely bathing with rosemary has totally healed them. And it is just the greatest of the wood herbs. It's very antiseptic. It is beloved by the bees and the butterflies. And it has such a lovely name: rosemary, Ros marinus, dew of the sea. As I seem to always be living by the sea, it does very well with me because it gets dew from the sea. And my other plant, southernwood, is one of the Artemisia family. And the Artemis was a great herbalist. What is beautiful about southernwood, it is the protector of women and the newborn infant. And I have done miracles with it, giving it to animals which are able to pass their young ones or their placentas. Give them a drink of southernwood and honey and ivy leaves, not the poison ivy of America, the climbing ivy of most of the other parts of the world. Every hospital had its garden growing these plants. Instead of their shelves and shelves of chemical medicines, there'd be so much less pain in the world and successful healing. And it's promised in the Bible. It says, I've given you the plants of the earth to heal you and to keep you healthy. Now, of all my herbal remedies, I've got a good one against mosquitoes, I've got a good one against hair lice in children, but the best I call the laying on of leaves. For very bad wounds, I used to put leaves direct on the wounds, and it was amazingly effective. Normally people put on bandages, ointments, and when they take off the bandages, they pull off the scabs most painfully. This happens again and again and again. The leaves just peel off, they've taken the poison out of the wound, and there's no pain whatsoever. My most exciting and dramatic cure was a short one. There was a woman called Ada Olkoop, and she'd been in a car accident. Actually, the car had plunged down into a ravine, and her own bone had pierced her leg very, very badly, a piece of her broken bone. And the leg had turned gangrenous and was going to be amputated below the knee. And she'd heard of me, and she knew that I visited an organic farm near Akko in Israel, and she came along and pleaded with me to treat her. Well, gangrene is very serious. But she said to me, don't worry, the doctor said you can't do any worse than it is, that they're going to amputate the leg anyway, and there's no chance that you can help them, but you can play your games with your leaves and flowers and things if you want, and you won't be punished if anything goes wrong, because nothing can go worse than that. So I said, all right, then I'll take it on, because in these gardens here are everything I want in abundance. Huge geranium leaves, huge nasturtium leaves, huge mallow leaves, and that's what we're going to cure you with. But I said, try and go on a semi-fast. She went on a macrobiotic diet, which is quite sensible, and she cheated because she smoked, but her nerves were so shattered I couldn't be too cross about that. So we started, we got the leaves, we rinsed them and put them on her stinking leg, and her gangrene reeks, and put the cold, wet cotton bandages on. And it was amazing what these leaves did. They would turn absolutely black from the filth they were bringing out from her wound. And slowly, slowly, she felt better, less smell coming out of her leg. And the cure was beginning to look really, really successful. But I couldn't continue there. I said, you'll have to carry on by yourself because I trust you to do it. You know how to do it. And so I didn't know the ending of it. But my daughter brought me the ending. She said, "It's the talk of Jerusalem. You have cured Ada's leg of gangrene." And that was true. So one of the main purposes of having gardens is that this garden is your teacher and your friend. You have some illness and you think, I wonder if that would be good for that. And you try it. It may be and it may not be. And if it is, then it's in your heart forever and you want to write about it. So that's how my herbal books have come into being.
Juliette's books record the wisdom of nature and the nature-living peoples. Her herbal handbooks for the dog and for farm and stable were the first veterinary herbals ever to be published, as until then the ancient art of the farrier and the gypsy had been passed on only by the spoken word. These books, together with Juliette's herbals for children and for everyone, have become classics and have touched thousands of human and animal lives. Juliette has also written novels, poetry, and some well-loved travel books, which describe the joys of simple living in many parts of the world.
On all my travels, when I found beautiful and interesting places, I would stay there many months. Many areas were wild and isolated, but I always found some ruin or cave or small cottage to live in. In all those places, because my living pattern was then more that of the nomads and peasants, they accepted me at once and became my friends and teachers. From the nomads and peasants, I wanted and got the knowledge of how to cultivate my own patch of corn, how to preserve olives, how to dry wild fruits, how to make medicines from herbs, the leaves, roots, and from tree barks. But I found far more than herbal knowledge which I sought from these people. I also learned their simple laws of honesty and morality, and health and hardiness, how to live rough and be happy every day of the primitive living.
Gone away.
Juliette began her nomad travels in England in the 1930s, inspired by Matthew Arnold's poem, The Scholar Gypsy. Come, let me read the oft-read tale again, the story of that Oxford scholar poor, of pregnant parts and quick, inventive brain, who, tired of knocking at preferment's door, one summer morn forsook his friends and went to learn the gypsy lore, and roamed the world with that wild brotherhood, and came, as most men deemed, to little good, but came to Oxford and his friends no more.